Alam mo, wala na tayong problema sa awa ng Diyos. Maybe I hope that this will really maybe suffice for the moment. Kasi nandyan, ang tao ang kulang. So, we intend to vaccinate maraming tao kasi marami tayong bakuna ngayon. So, panahon na talaga na lahat mabakunahan. Sana naman yung ayaw magpabakuna, well, you come to your senses. Alam mo, may mga tao, well, as a matter of conviction, would not want to be vaccinated. We would not never know what would motivate them to think that way. Meron namang iba belonging to a society, a sect or SECT grupo na yung pati kasali yung iba sa reliyon na ayaw nila magpabakuna. And this has created several conflicting legal theories of whether or not it is right to do this, to deny them opportunities. I have instructed the National Task Force and the DILG to further push these numbers upward to do everything necessary to reach our targets before the end of the year. Almost 30 million Filipinos are fully vaccinated, and more than 35 have at least one dose.
The Newsday continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. Presidential aspirant and Manila Mayor Isko Moreno visited Bataan, accompanied by his entire slate, including his running mate Dr. Willie Ong and some senatoriables. This morning, Moreno's team was welcomed at the Bataan capital by Governor Albert Garcia. Moreno proclaimed himself as a child of Bataan, as he spent his childhood and some of his working years in the province. He says that should he become president, he will continue the administration's Build, Build, Build initiative and push for the construction of a bridge connecting Bataan, Manila, and Batangas. Meanwhile, a political analyst believes that the Manila City Mayor is losing his momentum for the 2022 polls amid his recent statements criticizing the Dutertes and the Marcoses. Professor Dindumanhit says Moreno may have been attempting to win some votes from administration candidates, but says there's been a miscalculation in this strategy.
I think people saw him as an independent candidate, doing very well as a mayor of Manila. Pero nung nagkaroon siya naglaro ng political statements, vis-a-vis parang tumatawid papuntang President Duterte sa mga statements ng mga unang linggo. Yung statement din niya tungkol sa Marcoses. I think it's a wrong calculation of political sentiments.
In other news, President Rodrigo Duterte told senators to go after family executives who do not pay taxes. This comes after BIR records showed the company claimed more than 96 million pesos in tax credits last year without paying any taxes. Duterte reiterated that he's not concerned with the medical supplier and his only issue is with his cabinet members attending hearings on the deals entered between the government and family.
Those persons there na hindi nagbayad na tax evasion, they can all go to prison. Problema nila yan. Wala tayong pakialam sa iba. Yung sabi na pa hindi bumabayad, ay ikulong ninyo yan. May patbos nyo, patayin pa ninyo. Wala kami pakialam.
The president also revealed that COA has ordered SBMA to collect some 146.8 million pesos in disallowed expenses during the tenure of Senator Dick Gordon. Duterte also questioned Gordon's connection to a certain Rodolfo Reyes, who worked with the lawmaker since his law firm days.
Also instructed SBMA to withhold payment of salaries, kasali yan. Hindi bigay yung salaries ninyo pag hindi nyo nabayaran yan. May tanong kasi dito, tanong lang ito, hindi ba sa isa dito sa mga may disallowances sa SBMA ay si Rodolfo Reyes, nakasama mo sa law firm mo, nakasama mo rin ngayon sa Red Cross, business partner ba kayong dalawa?
The Private Hospitals Association says they have reached an agreement with PhilHealth over the state health insurer's failure to pay reimbursement claims. The group's president, Dr. Jose Rene de Grano, tells Radyo 5's Filon that PhilHealth has vowed to pay private hospitals a certain portion of their claims by the end of the month. De Grano says that if PhilHealth still fails to pay, some hospitals will push through with their plan to disengage from the health insurer. The group also says that the unpaid claims is just one of the issues that the two camps are trying to resolve.
Yung po unang pagbabayad na yan, isa pa lang po yan sa mga problema na between us ng PhilHealth at saka mga ospital. Yung po lang ay inuuna kasi siyempre ang mga private hospitals po, kumbaga sa amin, yung cash position po nila apektado na dito dahil sa sobrang laki po at sinasabi nila na yun muna unahin and then after that po ay pag-uusapan namin yung mga iba pang problema.
Baclaran's night market is finally making a comeback, and the MMDA is making vaccination mandatory for all vendors in the area. Camille Samonte with the story.
Tiangges and night markets are back here in Baclaran, just in time for the Christmas season. Vendors are now allowed to operate for 24 hours under the more relaxed Alert Level 2. To ensure public health, the Metro Manila Council has decided to make vaccination a requirement for traders and vendors. MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos pointed out that Tiangge visitors come from different places, which means contact tracing would be a challenge.
Baka po pwedeng bakunado sila to make sure that everyone is safe. So it will now be required, since they are seasonal, hindi mo na matitrace after 2 months. If you're going to be allowed by the LGU na magkaroon ka ng Tiangge, dapat bakunado ka, exhibitors, and even all of your employees.
However, not all vendors welcome the idea.
Delikado kasi nga kung hindi mo naman kilala yung yung customer mo. Tapos crowded, maraming customer, kung sino-sino lang pumapasok dito.
Natatakot lang sa mga nakikita na ng mga side effect. Hindi ako pabor, pero pag talaga mandatory, wala tayong magawa. Nakano na yun mandatory na. Pero hindi ako pabor doon na lahat pabakuna tayo.
Some shoppers, meanwhile, are in favor of the mandatory vaccination of vendors.
Kaming mga namimili, di naman kami lalabas kung di kami fully vaccinated Kaya kailangan, pati sila rin po, kailangan fully vaccinated na rin po, ma'am.
Malacanang insisted that the mandatory vaccination ordinance for vendors is valid.
Kasi ito naman po ay kabahagi ng General Welfare Clause, no? Na tanging mga bakunado ang papayagan magbenta sa mga Tiangge. Tingin ko po yan ay valid exercise of police power.
In Cebu City, meanwhile, a no vaccine no Christmas bonus is being proposed for City Hall employees. Acting Mayor Michael Rama said the 20,000 pesos Christmas bonus will be on hold unless all the City Hall employees are fully vaccinated. Rama believes such a move would help boost the city's COVID-19 vaccination coverage rate, which remained below 70% as of November 8.
Bonus is something that's a prerogative of the City of Cebu. In fact, finality will depend now on the approval by the City Council. Dapat ang tanang empleyado sa City Hall magpabakuna.
The palace also sees nothing wrong with Rama's decision.
Ang requirement po para sa mga taong gobyerno ay 13th and 14th month pay. Dahil discretionary po ang Christmas bonus, pwedeng gamitin po yan kabahagi ng incentive para makapagbakuna ang mas marami sa atin.
Malacanang, however, clarified that declining to get vaccinated is not a valid reason for termination.
Ito po ay protektado ng security of tenure clause ng ating saligang batas. Pero kapag meron pong requirement na hindi po pwede magtrabaho ang hindi bakunado, hindi lang po sila masisisante, hindi rin sila makakapagtrabaho. No?
For News 5, Camille Samonte, We Are One News.
President Duterte says employers have the right to refuse unvaccinated applicants. In his taped address, Duterte said that he thinks it's legal for employers not to accept applicants who have yet to receive anti-COVID shots. He added that this refusal is the employer's only way of protecting his business and other employees.
I think it's legal for employers not to accept people who are not vaccinated. Ano si lawyer, sabihin ko, mukhang tama ang ginawa ninyo. You're just protecting business and other people.
Meanwhile, the president also announced that the government is set to conduct a 3-day national vaccination drive by the end of the month. He hopes that this will push people to get the shot. But in true Duterte fashion, the president had some choice words for those who refuse to receive the vaccine.
We are planning to conduct a 3-day national vaccination drive from November 29 to December 1. Yung hindi nagpabakuna, yung mga pangit na bigyan ng problema na.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. With Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte withdrawing her COC for re-election, speculations of a BBM-Sara tandem resurface, and an ally close to the presidential daughter reveals that's actually a possibility. Just days before the deadline for substitutions in the 2022 elections, Senator Bongo hints at his possible withdrawal from the VP race. And Vice President Leni Robredo hits back at Bongbong Marcos, who's pushing her to pull the plug on the petition to cancel his COC. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.
Hello po. Check mic 1 2 3. Check mic 1 2 3.